Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you all doing? Do. What's up, Losh? You are first. Hey, Linfamy, you're second. Good job. Hey, Sal. How's it going? Do. You going to sleep? All right. Catch you later. What's up, Malik? Who or what is a Linfamy? It's a type of sweet cake. Okay. Delicious? I am delicious. What's up, Bigfoot? How are you doing? Hey, Hope. Hello from Target. Yeah, I love Target. What's up, Sunny Side Up? How's it going? Hey, Peepzilla. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Darth Claire. Glad to see you. It is a new book. Rude Noise. How's it going? What's up, Nikki? I'm glad you're here. Late for me? How dare you? What did you call me? How do I ban this guy from my chat? Hold on. All right. It is a new story today. New, exciting story. But first, we'll do some Wordle. Hold on. Okay. All right. Ray. Stomp. Oh, how about Patsy? Patsy. How about paste? Nope. Pasta. Yeah. Hey. What was that? Like 30 seconds? All right. Let's breeze through this. Semantle. I'm going to say we take 5 minutes. Hint. All right. Guys. How about a guess? Riddle? Oh, getting further. Colder. Hint. How about some answers? Question? Challenge? How about a clue? How about a entendre? It doesn't know the word entendre. Okay. Small. Big. Hint. Sheet. Like an answer sheet. A quiz? How about a quiz? Suggest. Indication. Bah! A suggestion. Suggest. Scantron sheet. Yeah. Hold on. Mystery. Notification. Notify. Ping. A reminder. A riddle. Do we try that? A riddle. Let me try that. Indicate. Note. Plan. How about hide? Alert. Bell. Nope. Warning. Nope. How about a message? Threat. Notification. Well, imply. Like implication? Inform? Or informant? Or information? Indicate. Indication. Notification. So. Detect. Call. Maybe call back. What is it? Here. Locate. Location. Warning, we tried that. What's up, Side Duck? How's it going? Note. Book. Right. Secret. Touch. Diary is not going well. Alarm. Text. How about a code? Panic. Classical. Notation. Hidden. Conduct. What's up, Rita? How's it going? Is heads up one word? You can try it. What? Heads up is a word? What the hell is that? Heat. Letter, maybe? Notification. A present? A presentation? Gift. Subscribe. Alarm. Did we try that? Oh god, what is it? It's kind of a hard one. Sneak. Thief. Thief. Night. Crawl. Notification. Oh, guys. Alert. Reminder, we tried that. Tried alarm. Memo? Oh. No. Email. Card. Notification. Knock. Door. House. Sneak. Burglar. Steal. Spam. I think we tried call. Phone. Ping we tried. Dark. Dungeon. Telephone. Stop. Shelter. We tried inform, information, info. Pie. Fireplace. Try bell, right? Indication. Something subtle. Subtle is a little bit high. Manner. Manners. Priority. How about protocol? Protocol! 26. How about a system? How about etiquette? Handshake. 26. Okay. Signal. Rules. Rule. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Got handshake, protocol, hug. Like a secret handshake. But why is it notification? Agreement? Contract? Treaty? Peace? War? Ceasefire? Deal? I like that. Business. Educate? Why? Apple? Indication, protocol, handshake. Signal, we got acknowledgement. 28. Acknowledge. Maybe it's some security thing? Security? No. Authentication? Authenticate? Confirm. I think we tried that. Oh, did we? Oh, we didn't try that. But I thought we tried that. Confirmation. Okay, okay, okay. Royal. Signature. Maybe some like cryptography thing. Cryptography. Wave. Sign. Bow. Sign. Wave. Hand. Notification. Oh. Messenger. But a reply. Forward. Bestow. Discord. Decree. Kowtow. Notification. Still highest. Acknowledge. Handshake. Confirmation. Hack. I'm thinking cryptography, but that might be my bias. Con. Procedure. Proper. Oh, proper. Noun. Poised. Prim. Protocol we tried. Etiquette we tried. Posh. Formal. Formal. Malik, good job. That was good. Formal, like a formality. Okay. Cheers. Good job, guys. All right. Before we get to the story, I have some Kit Kat. Yeah. Looks like a strawberry chocolate cake. Ooh. Comes in individual packets. Okay. How do you guys open your Kit Kats? I like to open it like this. Do this. Wait. Open it on the side so you can split it through the middle like this. Yeah. Then I can split one piece off. I can eat it. Oh, it's pretty good. Yum. It's even a little sour. For like sour strawberries, I guess. Pretty good. I do taste the strawberry. And it's a Kit Kat, so it's already good. Rated on squishiness, that's a 0 out of 10 on squishiness. But a solid 8 out of 10 overall. Pretty good. All right. Today, for our story. The new story is called Yuan Yang Sabres. Okay. And it's a story that I found somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where. I found it on the internet. And it's also a Jin Yong novel. And I've been told that it's pretty good. Okay. And it's also another short one. Okay. So we're not going to spend like a whole year on it. But it's going to be cool. I've never read it either. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. So I'm going into this blind also. All right, you guys ready? All right. It is a PDF. Okay, there's no website, unfortunately. The only way, the only location you can find it is right here on this stream. Okay, it doesn't exist publicly on the internet. Exclusive. I have huge connections, guys. I have huge connections. I have stories that have never been told before. Well, never been translated. Hold on. All right. It's called Yuan Yang Sabres. Okay. There's a little translator's note. Yuan Yang is also known as Mandarin ducks, and they are Chinese lovebirds that always travel in pairs. The male is called Yuan, and the female Yang. That's why it's Yuan Yang Sabres. So you can also call it Mandarin Duck Sabres, which is a great title, actually. All right, ready? Chapter 1. Taking bets on if the female love interest survives. Oh, someone knows this story. Benjamin. All right, chapter 1. 4 men dressed in martial outfits stood side by side, blocking the road. If they were from a gang, it wouldn't be just the 4 of them. Could it be that they have an ambush hidden in this dark and gloomy pine forest? If they were regular bandits, they'd be avoiding such a big troop of escorts at all cost. How would they dare to block the way haughtily in broad daylight? Or could it be that they're master martial artists and they're after me? Who's gonna get called son of a turtle first? I wonder if that insult is in there. Can the font go up a size? Ask and you shall receive. Oh my goodness. How about that? Is that too big? Maybe this? Looking at the 4 people, the furthest to the left was a compactly built man with a pointy chin, holding a pair of steel ume stings. You know what those are? Um. Oh no! Hold on. I'm not sharing my browser, so when I search for something, it's not automatic. All right, let me switch back and forth then. Is it this one? Oh, nope. Wait, how do I switch to my? Hold on. Wait. This one? Well, you guys don't get to see those. I don't know what's going on. All right, those are some weapons, okay? The second man to the left was tall and fat, looking like an iron tower planted on the ground. In front of him was an enormous stone stele. The words "Late Father Cheng Bin" from the Huang household's tomb were engraved on it. It was obviously a tombstone, but why put it in front of him? Huang Cheng Bin? Never heard of an elder master in the martial world with this name. The third one was an average built man with light skin. If it wasn't for his slightly protruding teeth and a nose that was a tad too flat, he would have been a rather handsome fellow. He was holding a pair of meteor hammers. At the rightmost was a sickly looking middle aged man. He was dressed in shabby clothes and had a pipe in his mouth, slowly blowing out the smoke with his eyes half closed. He didn't seem to take this group of 70 escorts seriously at all. Mm-mm. Oh, wait, you know what I can try? I can try to open this PDF on my browser and then share that. But I don't know why I can't share my browser. All right, let me try something. Blah, 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 blah. What is this? Mm, mm. All right, got it. Ume stings. Yeah, it's these things. All right, let's see. Open with Chrome. Then go like this. Then go like this. All right. Then let's see. Increase the font. All right. All right, he was at the rightmost was a sickly looking middle aged man. He was dressed in shabby clothes and had a pipe in his mouth, slowly blowing out the smoke with his eyes half closed. He didn't seem to take this group of 70 escorts seriously at all. Okay. So it looks like the main character is in this group of 70 escorts. And they've run across 4 people on their path. Those 3 aside, this sickly man must be a strong opponent with great inner energy. At this very moment, many tales he had heard in the martial world appeared in his head. A white-haired granny killed 5 escorts with her bare hands and stole the treasures. An old beggar caused some trouble in Tai Yuan's court, disappearing after beheading the magistrate. A pretty young lady beat Master Zhang of Da Tong House, whose martial skills had been well known in the northern Jin region for over 20 years. The more ordinary and carefree they looked, the stronger they might be. As the saying in the martial world goes, the real doesn't show, the one who shows isn't real. Down a size. Do this. Looking at the sickly man smoking with his eyes closed, the chief escort of the Prestige Integrity Escort House of Shanxi Xi'an, the iron whips that frightens the 8 directions, Zhou Wei Xin hesitated and instinctively touched the bundle on his back. They were escorting a total of 100,000 taels of silver, entrusted by Xi'an's big salt merchant Wang De Rong. 100,000 taels of silver wasn't a small number indeed, but the Prestige Integrity Escort House had escorted 200,000 taels of silver, and even 400,000 taels of silver. Gold or silver weren't a big deal for him, but ever since he had left Xi'an, all his mind had been on were the 2 sabers he was secretly carrying on his back, and the words he had heard in the house of Chuan Shen, Governor General, that night. What's up, Casey? Glad you're here. The one who had spoken to him was the Chuan Shen Governor General Liu Yu Yi. Although Zhou Weixin was well known in the martial world, the biggest government official he had met up until then was the magistrate. This time he was received by the Governor General himself. Naturally, he would be overwhelmed, trembling, and fidgeting. Those words from General Liu had been on repeat in his head for God knows how many 100 times. Chief Zhou, this pair of sabers are called the Yuan Yang Sabres. They are non-trivial. Be careful with them. When His Majesty was still a prince, he had already sent out trusted agents to look for them. After he succeeded the throne, he had announced a secret decree for all the governors of the 18 provinces to search for them. When he had finally seized the owner of the Yuan Yang Sabres, the cunning scoundrel had already hidden them elsewhere. No matter how much we investigated, it was of no avail. Thank God my ancestors had accumulated great karma, and thanks to the fortune of His Majesty, I have finally found them. Your Prestige Integrity Escort House seems reliable, so now I'm entrusting you to escort these sabers to the capital, and not a word should be let out on your way. After you get them to Beijing safely, you will be receiving a substantial reward. All right. So this escort house is escorting these blades. They also have a lot of money, but those are not the main thing, right? These blades are the main thing that they're carrying. He had heard about the famous Yuan Yang Sabres from long ago from his master. The Yuan Yang Sabres. One is long and one is short. A big secret is hiding within them. The one who knows it will become invincible. Anyone else feel that this guy is being set up? I'm feeling that. I have a feeling, yeah. The word invincible had always been the biggest dream of every martial person. When Zhou Weixin had heard this, he didn't think much of it. He thought that it was probably just some urban legend. How could there be some Yuan Yang Sabres in the world, containing a big secret that made people invincible? Who would have thought that one day General Liu would really obtain the Yuan Yang Sabres, and furthermore entrust him to bring them to the capital, and offer them to His Majesty the Emperor? The pair of sabers were wrapped tightly in layers of yellow cloth, and sealed with the general's wax stamp. Obviously, he desperately wanted to have a peek at the precious sabers. And if he had the chance to learn the secret within them, the iron whips that frightens the 8 directions would become the invincible iron whips. That would be great indeed, but who would dare to open the general's seal? No matter how many times he counted, the great Chief Zhou only had one head. The governor general sent out 4 of his trusted guards disguised as escorts to follow him. You could say that they were there to assist, or you could say that they were keeping an eye on him. A day before the departure, the governor general sent out yet another few bodyguards to invite all of his 12 family members to the barracks of the garrison, saying that they were concerned that Chief Zhou might worry about having no one to look after his family while he was away, therefore took them in. From the years Zhou Weixin had been in the martial world, how could he not know the meaning behind it? They weren't concerned about his family, but rather it was General Liu's concern over these sabers. Therefore, they took both his elderly parents, wife, concubines, and children as hostage. God forbid anything should happen to these Yuan Yang sabers along the way. His head would have separated with his body, obviously, and his whole family would have been killed too. He had been through quite a bit of ups and downs in his life, through glory as well as immense dangers. He had been a hero as well as a coward. He had cut off other people's heads, and the only thing he hadn't experienced was to have his own head cut off. You could say that he was a well experienced martial person, but he had never been this astounded, delighted, yet anxious. If he could escort the sabers into the capital safe and sound, not only General Liu would surely keep his promise of a substantial reward, like a true gentleman, perhaps even His Majesty would be so delighted that he would be granted a title or a position in the court. Then he would be bringing honors to all of his family and ancestors, and Chief Zhou would become General Zhou or Master Zhou. The way from Xi'an to Beijing wasn't very long, but it wasn't short either, as there were still at least 30 to 40 mountains and bandits as strongholds. Any regular gang wouldn't have concerned the iron whips that frightens the 8 directions. Even if he couldn't frighten all 8 directions, he could still manage 1 or 2. But how many elite martial artists would come after the words, "The one who obtains the Yuan Yang sabers will be invincible"? Therefore, he used the silver of the salt merchant as a decoy for the hidden sabers. This way, should anything happen to the silver, as long as he got the precious sabers to the capital, he would still be fine. When he would become an official, General Zhou would sit in the office and money would pour right in. What would 100,000 taels of silver be to him? Besides, a general would only ask for silver. Who would dare to make it pay? Wait, who would dare to make him pay it back? Zhou Weixin pressed the iron whip on his waist with his left hand, stared at the 4 men in front of him, and finally forced out a cough. My humble self is passing by your honorable territory, and forgot to pay respect to my dear friends. It was very discourteous of me. May I ask for your forgiveness? He said, cupping his fists. It would be best not to fight at all. He had decided in his mind, or that walking corpse could be a tough opponent. As the saying in the martial world goes, recklessness may cripple you, but caution will let you walk freely. As he thought to himself, the sickly man put his left hand on his chest and coughed. No need to kowtow and pay respect. The short, skinny man waved his ume stings and said in an effeminate voice, whatever precious items you're escorting, leave them to us. Zhou Weishin was startled. When we departed, he thought, even my most trusted escorts believed that we're escorting tales of silver. How would this person know that I'm really escorting precious items? As the saying in the martial world goes, the one who is coming surely has bad intentions. The one who has good intentions won't come. I should be careful. Please, pardon my ignorance. May I ask your respectable names? He said, cupping his fist again. Say yours first, said the skinny man. Wait, say yours first, said the skinny man. My humble name is Zhou Weishin. The iron whips that frighten the 8 directions is the nickname that the friends in the martial world gave me. Zhou Weishin said. What a nickname, the sickly man sneered. But the word frighten needs to be changed. It should be changed to bow to. Changed to bow to? The skinny man paused for a second, then continued. Right, Joe, my big brother just changed your nickname to the iron whips that bow to the 8 directions. My brother foretells that like a prophet, and is always sensible. As he finished the sentence, the 4 men all roared with laughter. There's a saying in the martial world. What's with this guy and the sayings? There's a saying in the martial world, Zhou Weishin thought to himself. Hold your anger for a moment, and you might spare 100 days of calamities. Please, excuse my rudeness, he said, forcefully suppressing his anger. Where do the 4 of you come from? Which mountain is your territory? And who is your chief? All right, I'll tell you then. But be careful, don't get scared, said the skinny man, pointing at the sickly man. Our big brother is named Smoky Cloud Divine Dragon, Xiao Yao Zi. Second brother is Steel Cleaving Dual Palms, Chang Chang Feng. Third brother is Meteor Chasing the Moon, Hua Jian Ying. And my humble self is Catching Toad within 8 steps. Surpassing Zhuan Zhu. Translator's note, Zhuan Zhu was a famous assassin from the spring and autumn period, around 500 BC. Okay. No. Surpassing Zhuan Zhu, walking on snow without a trace, 1 foot flying over water, double stings that transcend 7 provinces, Gai Yi Ming. Oh, maybe that guy sounds like he's really good. The more Zhou Weishin listened, the more he was dumbfounded. How could this person have such long and wordy nicknames? He thought. We are sworn brothers who do good deeds, the skinny man continued. We fight the strong and help the weak, steal from the rich to aid the poor. People in the martial world call us the 4 heroes of Tai Yue. Okay. So they're saying they're like Robin Hood type peoples. His humble self indeed. True. From their nicknames, thought Zhou Weishin, it sounds like this skinny guy excels in lightness martial arts. That big guy must have a lot of strength in his palm attacks. The white-faced guy is a master in meteor hammers. And that smoky cloud divine dragon, Xiao Yao Xi, must be an elder master martial artist who lives a secluded life. I've never heard of the name of the 4 heroes of Tai Yue, but since they're called heroes, they must not be trivial. As the saying in the martial world goes, rather not recognize words, shouldn't dismiss people. Okay. You can tell this guy has a lot of sayings. I think it's going to be a running thing throughout the story. Wait, so can we... What are meteor hammers, guys? Huh. Oh, shit. This looks awesome. Oh my god. Hell yeah. I want to see that guy use this. Look at this dude. Okay. I have long admired your names. He then cupped his fist and said, Our escort house has never had any enmity with you four heroes. Please, let us pass and we'll come and pay respect another time. Wait, okay. Who's Guy Yiming again? Guy Yiming. Did he talk before? He didn't. Oh, wait. Humble. Oh, that's this guy. Okay. If you want us to let you pass, it's easy, said Guy Yiming, making a clashing sound with his double stings. Pung pung. We don't want your silver. Just lend us one or two treasures. That'll be enough. What treasure? Asked Zhou Weixin. Ha ha ha! You're asking me? Said Guy Yiming. That's funny. How would I know if you don't know it yourself? Hearing this, Zhou Weixin knew that they would not let him off easily. These four heroes of Tai Yue were obviously after the Yuan Yang Sabres. As the saying in the martial world goes, he thought, have mercy and there's no fight. And when you fight, there's no mercy. When they move, it will surely be deadly. He then slowly pulled out his two whips. All right, let's do this, guys. If that's the case, I shall witness the superb skills of the four heroes of Tai Yue. Which one of you will go first? He turned his head and waved his hand. 5 escorts and the 4 guards from the general's office approached him. We don't have to follow the rules of chivalry with these bandits, Zhou Weixin said in a low voice. Let's all strike at once. There's a saying in the martial world, with enough hands, even buildings can be carried across a river. Imagine like being the followers of this guy. He's speaking in sayings. What he was really thinking was, let them fight the 4 heroes and I'll flee. The most important thing is to bring the Sabers to the capital. As the saying in the martial world goes, in good times we fight together, but in times of crisis, we each go our own ways. Great saying. That's an awesome saying there. Chief, said Guy Yiming, moving towards Zhou Weixin, my 2 stings that transcend 7 provinces will take on your iron whips that frighten the 8 directions. Let's fight for 7 or 8 rounds. Zhou Weixin did not get off the horse. He raised his iron whip, using the move Stealing Spear in the Peach Garden to block the Emei's stings. He then tightened his thighs on the horse and dashed out. Shoot! The big chief wants to run away, shouted Guy Yiming. I'm going to check if they have an ambush outside the forest. Zhou Weixin turned his head and yelled, while letting his horse gallop away. Hua Jianying threw out the meteor hammers toward his back. Zhou Weixin waved his left whip without turning around, using the move breaking into 3 enemies' camps at night. With a dang sound, it swung the meteor hammers back. As soon as he clashed weapons with Hua and Gai, he felt that their moves weren't any extraordinary, and their inner energy was also mediocre. Turning his head, he saw Xiao Yaozi still holding his pipe, leaning against the tree, and looking expressionlessly at the 3 heroes of Tai Yue, being surrounded by the troop of escorts. If I hesitate a bit and let that guy make a move, Zhou Weixin was startled and thought to himself, then I wouldn't be able to escape at all. Like the saying in the martial world goes, the rain will fall on your head if you don't leave while it's sunny. He turned his hand to give a little stab on the horse's butt with his whip. The mount started bolting madly. He glanced at Xiao Yaozi and suddenly saw that he waved his right hand while shouting, "Eat my dart!" Hearing the wind beside his body, a dark projectile had gotten near. Zhou Weixin raised his whip to block it. With a "pa" sound, the projectile was glued to the whip and didn't fly off. This Xiao Yaozi really is a master martial artist. He was even more startled. Even his projectile is unlike others. As the saying in the martial world goes, when an expert shows his hand, you know right away. His mount didn't slow down a bit and carried him outside the forest. Zhou Weixin saw that there was nobody chasing after him, took a breath, and looked at the projectile that was glued to his whip. It turned out to be a tattered, muddy shoe. The mud was sticky, hence it didn't fall off the whip. High-level martial masters can hurt people even with flower petals and leaves. He was even more taken aback. He didn't take my life with this old shoe. He must have had mercy on me. For a moment, he was unsure whether to keep on running or wait and see what was coming. Suddenly, he heard from the forest someone shrieking like a dying pig, then followed by complete silence. Not even sounds of weapons clashing could be heard again. Could it be that all the escorts and the 4 guards got taken down by the 4 heroes of Tai Yue instantly? Zhou Weixin thought, even more stunned and confused. Suddenly, he heard someone shouting, "Chief! Chief!" It was Escort Zhang's voice. Zhou Weixin touched the bundle on his back, but didn't answer. There's a saying in the martial world, listening brings wisdom, and distance makes you see clearly, he thought. "Chief, come back! The bandits have left! We chased them away!" A short while after, someone shouted again. How could it be so easy? Thought Zhou Weixin, slightly taken aback. He pulled on the reins to turn the horse around, and saw an escort running out of the forest. "Chief, the attackers left!" the man shouted happily. "They were lame, couldn't even stand a blow." "For real?" Zhou Weixin said, thrilled and surprised. What the hell's going on? "We fought them head on, together," said the escort. "That sickly man got hit on the shoulder by Escort Zhang's saber, and the 4 of them ran away." Seeing that he didn't seem to be lying, Zhou Weixin was absolutely delighted. He urged the horse to go back into the forest. "There were a dozen of enemies in ambush outside the forest," he said. "There were a dozen enemies in ambush outside the forest," he said. "I fought them and they all fled." Oh, yes. This is him talking. He couldn't help but blush a little as he lied. There's a saying in the martial world, a thief feels guilty. The one who farted will blush, he thought. I have to compose myself and not let them notice anything unusual. What 4 heroes of Tai Yue? Bulls. Bulls? Is that a thing? "Bulls!" said Escort Zhang proudly, waving his saber. The group of escorts and guards laughed loudly. Zhou Weixin looked at the upright tombstone on the ground, still confused. Ouch! Suddenly they heard a few grunts from the back of the forest. "It's the injured enemy," said Zhou Weixin. The crowd ran over like a gust of wind. The grunts came from a bush of thorns. A dozen people scattered and surrounded the bush. "Little thief, get out at once!" shouted Zhou Weixin, but the grunting got even louder. Zhou Weixin lifted his arm, and with a whoosh sound, a hand arrow was shot into the bush. "Ah!" The person inside screamed, obviously wounded. Got him! Chief's got an amazing aim! Two escorts cheered. They got into the bush carrying their sabers and brought the person out. Upon seeing the man, everyone looked at each other and fell silent. That man turned out to be the fat salt merchant Wang, who entrusted them with the silver. His clothes had been torn by the thorns. There was a saying in the martial world, out of 10 fat men, 9 are rich, and the one left doesn't have a butt. What is this saying? So, in the past, people believe that if someone has a small butt, it means that they don't have a good fortune in money. Gotcha. Not only did this fat salt merchant Wang have a butt, it even had a hand arrow on it. The 4 heroes of Tai Yue hid inside the woods and only came out when they saw. You're the one without a butt? Oh, rude noise. I'm sorry. The 4 heroes of Tai Yue hid inside the woods and only came out when they saw the people of the Prestige Integrity Escort House were far away. Hua Jianying tore a piece of cloth from his shirt to wrap the wound on Xiao Yaozi's shoulder. Big brother, are you all right? Asked Chang Changfeng. It's all right, answered Xiao Yaozi. When greatly outnumbered, even heroes can't win. It's not a big deal. I've told you that there's a lot of them, said Hua Jianying, and it wouldn't be an easy fight, but second brother still insisted, causing big brother to get hurt. Wait, so they are really bad? Oh no. Oh no, poor Robin Hood and his men. These people are thick-headed, said Gai Yiming. They didn't back off even after hearing the reputable name of the 4 heroes of Tai Yue. What can we do? Alright. I need a break. Alright. Be right back. Okay. I think I've composed myself. Could not stop laughing. Oh my god. Read the line again. That made you laugh. Why? Whew. All right. All right. Channeling my internal energy. All right, ready? Yeah. So it looks like these 4 heroes are just doofuses. These people are thick-headed, said Gai Yiming. They didn't back off even after hearing the reputable name of the 4 heroes of Tai Yue. What can we do? You can't blame it on second brother, said Xiao Yaozi. We had to go after the escort houses if we wanted to get treasures. What should we do now? Asked Chang Changfeng. We can't go there empty-handed. I think, suggested Guy Yiming. But before he could continue, sounds of footsteps suddenly rose outside the forest. Someone was running at great speed from south to north, towards them. Guy Yiming turned his head to look at their direction, his downward brows raised. There are 2 people coming, he said. This time we'll take care of them, 2 on 1. Betcha these 2 fat sheep won't get away. That's right, Chang Changfeng agreed. Gotta get at least a few dozen taels of silver. He lifted the tombstone off the ground, carrying it in his hands. Xiao Yaozu is an older dude. His nickname was Steel-Splitting Dual Palms because he used tombstones as his weapon. Using his brute strength, he would throw the big stone steel at his opponent's head, and would oftentimes scare them away even before the fight. As to whose tombstone it was, he was quite spontaneous about it. He would pick one as he went. Oh, what an asshole. Depending on which dead person had the misfortune or bad karma during their life to fall into his hands. The 4 of them then made a hand gesture to each other and hid behind the big trees. The 2 people ran into the forest one after the other. The one in front was a man around 27 or 28 years of age, holding a saber. Damn bitch! So violent! Do you really want to kill me? He cursed loudly. The 4 heroes of Tai Yue were befuddled. They saw that the one who followed was a young married woman. The woman carried a baby on her back and held a slingshot. With a string of pa 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 sounds, beads were shot towards the robust man. The man waved his saber left and right to block them, but didn't dare to turn around and fight. Who are you? Why are you fighting? Seeing that it was a man and a woman fighting, Xiao Yaozu shouted. Guy Yiming blew a whistle. The 4 of them came out of the woods at once and shouted, Stop! You bitch! So ruthless! I'll show no more mercy! The man yelled back and kept running forward. You scoundrel! If I don't kill you today, I'm not Ren Fei Yan! Shouted the young woman. At this time, the 4 heroes of Tai Yue were already in front of the man, blocking his path. Lin Yulong, you still won't stop? The young woman named Run Fei Yan shouted again. Out of the way! Lin Yulong yelled at Chang Changfeng, who was blocking his way. He lowered his head, dodged the flying bead coming from behind, and heard an ouch. The bead had hit Chang Changfeng squarely on the nose. Stinky bitch, you hit me! Chang Changfeng cursed angrily. So what? Said Ren Fei Yan. With another 2 pa-pa sounds, 2 beads shot towards him. Chang Changfeng raised the tombstone in the air. But it didn't block anything. The 2 beads hit his chest and arm respectively. His arm went numb, and the tombstone fell to the ground. Ow! He jumped. It turned out to be the manifestation of the dead. The tombstone had fallen on his toe. Ah, crap. Seeing their second brother getting hurt, Guy Yiming and Hua Jianying simultaneously threw themselves at Ren Fei Yan. Ren Fei Yan pulled a slingshot, launching another string of attacks. Guy Yiming received one on the forehead, and Hua Jianying got a front tooth broken off. Retreat! Retreat! Cried Guy Yiming. Oh no. They are doofuses. Being hindered by the 4, while seeing Lin Yulong getting out of the forest, Ren Fei Yan was enraged. With a quick step forward, she turned around. With a pa sound, a bead was shot, and it knocked the pipe in Xiao Yaozu's hand to the ground. This blow had both remarkable power and accuracy. It was a famous slingshot move called the Parthian shot. Lin Yulong, you stinky bastard! I'm telling you to stop! Ren Fei Yan smiled faintly, turning her head around. Come fight your old man 300 rounds with swords and sabers if you dare, he heard Lin Yulong's voice from afar. Chasing people with a slingshot? What kind of martial art is that? Parthian definition? Isn't a Parthian... Wait, isn't that just a people? Does that have an actual definition? I think the move is this, right? When you go, shoot the back. I think there's a Parthian shot with the bow, too. Parthian does have a definition? Oh. It's also a word with an actual definition. Crap. Parthian means backwards, like a behind shot, a backward shot. Backward. Parthian definition? Wait. No, it does refer to the empire. No? Oh, wait. Relating to being or having the effect of a shot fired while in one real or feigned retreat. Oh, fired while retreating. Gotcha. Okay. All right, you got me. That was wrong. No, yeah, good job, Losh. That's one song. The coraling got further and further north. Big brother, asked Hua Jianying, Lin Yulong and Run Feiyan, who are these people? Lin Yulong is a master in single sabers, Xiao Yaozi pondered. And that woman, Run Feiyan, must be known for her slingshot skills. Big brother foretells the future like a prophet, and is always sensible, said Gai Yiming. That woman is quite pretty, said Hua Jianying. It must have been that Lin had an eye on her and intended to commit indecency. That's right, agreed Xiao Yaozi. We, the four heroes of Tai Yue, are chivalrous and love to help the ones in need. If we ever meet this pervert Lin Yulong again, we must teach him a good lesson. Maybe those two killed each other's father. Who knows who's right and who's wrong? Said Chang Changfeng, rubbing his toe. Damn it, that one really hurts. That guy named Lin looks villainous, said Xiao Yaozi with a serious expression. I could tell right away that he's not a good person. Although the woman named Run was reckless, her martial art does seem like it's from a proper school. Big brother foretells the future like a prophet, and is always sensible, said Gai Yiming. Chang Changfeng still wanted to argue, but when suddenly they heard a voice outside the forest, slowly reciting a poem. The gold passes through the hands quickly. Got bankrupt yesterday, and today I am poor. Why does the man cry without reason? He might as well burn his hairband. Following the chant, a young scholar strolled into the woods while gently waving his fan. A boy servant followed, carrying the luggage. Hua Jianying held the fallen front tooth between his fingers and was just about to look for a way to vent his frustration. Seeing the scholar enjoying himself, strolling, and even reciting poems, talking about gold and silver, he winked at Gai Yiming and jumped forward. Oi, that scholar, he shouted. What are you blabbling about? You're giving your old men headaches. Hurry up and compensate us. May I ask, upon seeing them like this, the scholar was startled. What would you like me to compensate for? Compensate for our headaches, replied Gai Yiming. 100 taels of silver per person. That's a total of 400 taels. That much? The scholar stuck out his tongue. Even if the emperor got a headache, it wouldn't cost that much to treat it. The emperor? Gai Yiming was offended. How dare you compare us to the emperor? This is not good. We'll have to double the price now. 800 taels. You are even more venerable than the emperor. That is very admirable, said the scholar. May I ask for your honorable name and background? Oh no. Ha ha ha. Gai Yiming smirked. My surname is Gai, and my given name is Yi Ming. The people in the martial world call me catching toad within 8 steps, surpassing Zhuanzhu, walking on snow without a trace, 1 foot flying over water, and double stings that transcend 7 provinces. I am number 4 of the 4 heroes of Tai Yue. I have long admired your name, said the scholar, cupping his fist. And what about this, brother? He turned to Hua Jianying. Who are you calling brother? Hua Jianying frowned. He pushed the servant boy aside and lifted their luggage. It was hefty. He was delighted and proceeded to open the basket. The sight made him gasp. It turned out that the whole basket was filled with old books. Bah! Cried Chang Changfeng. All garbage. Brother, you're wrong, said the scholar hastily. How can you call the books of the sages garbage? They say that golden houses are within the books. So that's a phrase from a poem by an emperor of the Song dynasty, Zhao Heng, to encourage people to read more. Huh. There's gold in these books, said Chang Changfeng dubiously. Nobody would buy them even if you sell them for a penny per pound. At this time, Gai Yiming had already opened the other basket. There seemed to be nothing of value besides some clothes and quilts. The 4 heroes of Taiyue were all disappointed. I have been traveling the country in search of my mother, that scholar said. How lucky am I to meet you 4 brothers. You are called the 4 heroes of Taiyue. I am sure that you are very famous in the martial world for fighting injustice and helping the poor. That is correct, said Xiao Yaozi. I am so extremely fortunate to be able to meet with such heroes, the scholar continued. I have just run into a problem that would need you big heroes' help. Not a problem, said Xiao Yaozi. We wouldn't call ourselves heroes if we see others in difficulty and not lend a hand. The scholar kept bowing to show his gratitude. So, who's giving you trouble? Asked Gai Yiming. I am very ashamed to mention it. I'm afraid that you brothers would laugh at me, said the scholar. So your little sister is pretty and you got kidnapped by some bad guy, Hua Jianying speculated. No, the scholar shook his head. I do not have a sister. Then it must be that some rich guy or corrupted official took your wife. Gai Yiming clapped his hands. Neither. The scholar shook his head again. I have never been married. How can I have a wife? Then what is it? Exclaimed Chang Changfeng impatiently. Just hurry up and tell us. I shall say it then, said the scholar. But heroes, please, don't be offended. Although the 4 heroes of Taiyue called themselves heroes, there was nobody in the martial world that would be so polite to them and keep addressing them as heroes. Now that they heard the scholar talking to them with such great respect, they all straightened their backs with pride. Hurry up and tell us, said the 4 of them at the same time. No matter what difficulties you have, the 4 heroes of Taiyue will take care of it. I am wandering in the martial world and stumbled across your territory. The scholar cupped his hand and bowed to each of them. But our wallet is getting empty. I have no choice but to beg the 4 heroes of Taiyue to help us out with a few taels of silver. the four heroes are righteous and charitable. May I thank you in advance." Hearing this, the four heroes all frowned and fell silent. They were planning to rob this scholar, but who would have expected that just a few sentences would put them in such an awkward situation? "Real men can get stabbed on the ribs for their friends." Chang Changfeng patted his chest and said loudly, "Let alone just a few taels of silver. Big brother, third brother, and fourth brother, take out your money. I have—" He put his hand inside his chest pocket, but didn't take it out. It turned out that his pocket was empty. He didn't even have one copper coin. Luckily, Hua Jianying and Gai Yiming had a few small pieces of silver. They took them out and gave them to the scholar. Oh no. "I shall never forget your generosity." The scholar bowed and thanked them repeatedly. "Should we ever meet again in this vast land, I shall certainly repay you back." He then left the forest with his servant boy. Once outside of the forest, he started laughing. "Take the silver for yourself," he said to the servant. The servant boy was tidying up the baskets that got messed up by the four men. He opened an old book, and between the pages, countless thin golden leaves glittered brightly under the sunlight. Ah, so he was being literal. "Young master told them that there's gold in the books," he smiled, "but they didn't believe it." Ah, ha, 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 ha. Oh no, these four heroes of Taiyue. The four heroes of Taiyue went out for a wool and came home shorn, but were all delighted because they felt that they had done a great deed. "When that scholar goes around the world," said Gai Yiming, "he will surely spread the words on the heroic acts of the four heroes of Taiyue." Before he could finish his sentence, they heard the sounds of bells and hoofbeats coming their way from the south. "Brothers," said Xiao Yaozi, "from the speed of this horse, it must be a fine steed. Regardless, let's hijack it first. We can't find anything better, then this horse will be our gift." "Big brother foretells like a prophet, and is always sensible," said Gai Yiming. He then hastily removed his belt and continued. "Hurry up and untie your belts. Let's make a horse trap." He proceeded to tie the four cloth belts together. As they were tying it between two large trees, the rider had already arrived. Oh no. Upon seeing four people crouched on the ground holding a long rope, the rider was slightly taken aback and stopped the horse. What are you doing?" asked the rider. "Installing a horse trap," answered Gai Yiming. As he spoke, he realized that it was not appropriate. He turned around and seeing that the rider was a beautiful young maiden with a very low voice. He was relieved. "Why are you installing a horse strap?" asked the maiden. "To trip your horse, obviously." Gai Yiming stood up and rubbed off the dust from his hands. "All right, now that you already know it, there's no need for the horse strap anymore. Get down, leave the horse and go away. We, the four heroes of Taiyue, won't bully young single women and damage our reputation." "You want me to leave my horse? Aren't you bullying me already?" The young maiden smiled sweetly. "Well, we have our reasons," Gai Yiming stuttered. "We're not bullying you," said Xiao Yaozu. "We're just bullying your mount. It's just an animal. What's the deal?" He saw the horse was tall and its coat shiny. It was indeed a fine steed. It was also fitted with gold reins and silver bells. Just this saddlery would be worth a fortune. The more he looked, the more he liked it. "That's right," said Gai Yiming. "We, the four heroes of Taiyue, are real men of the martial world, and will never take advantage of women. You just have to leave your mount, and we won't touch a hair on you. I, catching toad with 8 steps, surpassing Juanju, walking on snow without a trace—" "Stop, stop!" The maiden covered her ears. "I don't know who I am, And I don't know who you are. Is that right? That's right. Gai Yiming was confused. But what about it? Well then, the maiden smiled. Since we don't know each other, then Dad can't blame me if I offended you. Oi, such daring thieves. Come at me at once. No. The four men just saw a blur in front of their eyes, and the maiden was already holding a pair of sabers in her hands. With a sway of the weapon fast like the wind, she rode her horse forward, bent down, and cut off the horse trap with one single chop. Her left saber went directly for Gai Yiming's head. Real men don't fight women. Why? Gai Yiming yelled. Seeing the silvery glimmer, the saber was getting close to his face. He hurriedly raised the steel sting to block it. With a tongue sound, the weapons clashed. He felt a great pulling force from the girl's saber, and with one pushing and the other pulling, he couldn't hold on to his weapons, which flew off, shot up tens of feet into the sky, and pierced through a branch of a tall tree. Hua Jianying and Chang Changfeng charged at the maiden from each side. The maiden sat tall on her horse, towering them. After a series of her combo attacks with using both sabers, the two men were having trouble withstanding the strikes. Hey, big guy, asked the maiden, curiously about the stone steel in Chang Changfeng's hands. What's that thing you're holding? This is second hero Chang's unique weapon, answered Chang Changfeng. It's not included in the 18 common weapons of the martial world. The moves are unusual and unexpected. Wow! The maiden had turned around her saber and hit him on the wrist with the back of the blade. The pain made Chang Changfeng drop his unique weapon, and coincidentally, it fell right on his swollen toe again. Oh no. Seeing that the situation wasn't going well for them, Xiao Yaozi raised his pipe to join the fight. The pipe was made out of fine steel, and he was using it as the judge's pen to hit the enemy's acupressure points. Only that his accuracy wasn't great, therefore often missing the acupoint by a few millimeters, resulting in a vastly different outcome. The maiden noticed it and found it quite amusing. She showed him a weakness on purpose and let his pipe hit her left thigh. Sickly ghost, what was the acupoint you just hit? She shouted, feeling just a slight pain. It is the Zhongzhu acupoint, answered Xiao Yaozi. When being hit, the legs and knees will feel numb, and all four limbs will be temporarily paralyzed. Now hurry up and admit your defeat. Chengdu point is not there, the maiden laughed. You're off by 2 inches to the left. Off by 2 inches? That can't be. Xiao Yaozi hesitated, then reached out his pipe for a second attempt. The maiden's saber struck down, knocking his pipe to the ground, then immediately passed both sabers to her right hand and grabbed him by the collar with her left. The tip of her foot lightly tapped on the horse's belly. The horse cried a long neigh and shot out of the woods. Xiao Yaozi was completely paralyzed with the back of his neck in her hand. The third hero, the only one left of the 4 heroes of Tai Yue, shouted, Not good! Not good! While running after them with all his might. In just a few seconds, the horse had run off for about a mile. You are holding my Feng Qi acupoint, said Xiao Yaozi in her hand, his feet dragging on the ground, bleeding. That is where Xiaoyang and the Yangwei meridians meet, which caused me to be immobilized. There's nothing extraordinary about it. It's a loss that cannot be avoided. Although I lost the fight, I still have my honor. At least you know the acupoints on yourself. Wait, on yourself? The maiden giggled, stopping the horse and threw him onto the ground. Suddenly she sneered, put the saber against his neck, and shouted, You were rude to your miss. I can't spare your life. All right, Xiao Yaozi sighed. Hey, but you better cut through my Tianju acupoint. It'll be instant death, and I won't have to suffer. The maiden couldn't help but laugh inwardly. This sickly ghost is still thinking about pressure points moments before his death, she thought. How about I scare him a bit more and see how he reacts? She then put her saber on his neck between the Tianju and the Fengqi acupoints. Here it is, she said. No, 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 shouted Xiao Yaozi. Miss, you're wrong. It's 1 1/5 inches above. Miss, kill us all too! They heard the cries of 3 exasperated people on their way here. It was the rest of the 3 heroes. Why did you willingly come to die? Asked the maiden. We 4 heroes of Tai Yue are sworn brothers, answered Gai Yiming. We don't wish to be born on the same day, but hope to die together. If Miss is going to kill my big brother, the rest of the 3 brothers wouldn't want to stay in this world alone. Please, so please kill us all. If any of us frowns even once, we're not real men. As he said this, he walked to Xiao Yaozu's side and stood straight, waiting to be killed. The maiden rose her saber, pretending to chop down. Gai Yiming grinned and didn't even flinch a bit. Wow. Great, the maiden admired. The 4 of you have ordinary martial skills, but are very loyal to each other. You've gained my respect. I'll spare your lives. She then put her sabers back into their sheaths. The 4 of them were overjoyed and extremely grateful. May I ask Mrs. Honorable name? Asked Gai Yiming. The 4 heroes of Tai Yue will engrave it in our mind and repay your favor in the future for sparing our lives. Hearing him still keep referring to themselves as the 4 heroes of Tai Yue without even the slightest shame, the maiden couldn't help but giggle again. You don't need to know my name, she said, but I want to know, why do you want to steal my mount? The 10th of March this year is the Yuan Yang hero Xiao Banhe's 50th birthday, said Gai Yiming. You know the old hero Xiao? Hearing the name of Xiao Banhe, the maiden was slightly taken aback. We don't know the old hero Xiao, said Gai Yiming, but have always admired him and want to go and pay our respect on his 50th birthday. I'm a bit ashamed to admit it, but we don't have any gifts to bring. That's why so you wanted to take my mount as a gift. That's easy. The maiden laughed. She pulled out a golden hair ornament from her hair and continued. I'll give you this hairpin. The pearl on top is worth a lot of money. Use this as the birthday gift. The old hero Xiao will surely be pleased. As she said those words, she raised the reins. The horse flipped its hooves and galloped away. Gai Yiming held the hair ornament and looked at the big, round pearl shining in the sunlight. Although the 4 heroes didn't know much about gems, they could tell that it was a rare treasure. They stared at the pearl, all of them delighted. This girl is generous and straightforward. She's quite somebody, said Xiao Yaozi. Big brother foretells the future like a prophet and is always sensible, said Gai Yiming. All right. Yay. Did you guys like that? I thought that was really good. I cracked up at one point and could not stop. I didn't expect the story to be funny. Yeah, but it was. These 4 guys are just goofballs, so that's pretty cool. I like it. Goofy, fantastic, yeah. It is off to a great start. And there were a lot of sayings. True. Alright. Well, I can't wait for next time. I want to see what happens to these guys. Is the whole story going to follow them? No idea. Maybe. It seems like it. Yeah, it seems like it, but we'll see. Take a drink every time there's a saying in the martial world. All right, Peepzilla. Yeah, thank you for listening. All right. Karaoke. What should we sing? Guys, what's a good song that I know? Meatloaf. I have no idea what that is. System of a Down. Oh god. 90s songs. Never gonna give you up. I am looking through YouTube for some songs. Rick Astley. All right. I actually just know the chorus, I think. I don't even know the verses. For Never Gonna Give You Up. Oh, do you want to do Santa Baby? Heart-shaped box? Ooh, that's good too. I can do Santa Baby in my manly voice. Santa Baby for Valentine's. Oh, it is. Hey. All right, let's do it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'd have to sing it in my girl voice. My voice is not good today for some reason. Singing in a sexy girl voice. All right, let's try it. Oh god.